Many chuck manufacturers offer these nylon soft jaws that are machined to fit their particular chuck, and you can customize them for specialty projects so you can get a very nice hold, a non-marring surface, and you can cut it for whatever project you're having, and especially if you're doing repetitive projects of a certain size. Hi y'all, I'm Mike Peace. I'm passionate about wood turning, and I'm here to share with you tips, tricks, and techniques to help you become a wood turner. If you're interested in this, please consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you won't miss any future videos. Let's get started. First off, you'll notice that the bottom of your soft jaws are finely machined with a tenon that fits in the recess on your chuck jaw, which makes for a very, very strong hole since it doesn't rely on the screws alone. It may be tight enough where you may even need to tap it into that slot with a mallet, or if you don't have a mallet, just grab a tool handle, and then you're just going to just tighten up the screws a little bit, but don't get them too tight. Just we'll worry about that later. Once you get them all in there, and before then, you want to make sure that the bottom, that there's no gap between the jaw slides and the bottom of the chuck on any of the jaws. Next thing you do, before you actually tighten them up, you're going to tighten up the jaw set like this. This is really a good process with any chuck jaw. Then you can go ahead and snug them up. Don't get them too tight because you can strip them very easily. But just snug up all the jaws. Then what we're going to do before we get to turning, we're going to turn us a small dowel, maybe a little shorter than this, closer to this one, for the appropriate size that's going to fit inside, as this picture will illustrate, just below the bottom of the chuck jaws, and short enough where it doesn't interfere with the spindle threading on. And you just kind of hold it up there. Kind of tricky maneuver here. Hold it up so it's just below the nylon jaws, but resting firmly in the jaw slides. And then tighten it up. And by tightening the metal jaw slides onto this dowel, it gives us a much firmer fastening, and it won't vibrate and the jaws won't creep while we mount this thing on the lathe to turn. Jaws come in different colors based on the manufacturer. Green ones are Record, the red ones are Nova. They're interchangeable. If you're going to buy some, buy the cheapest ones for either the Sorby, Patriot, or the Nova or the Record Power to fit those chucks. The others, you need to make sure you buy the jaw set that comes from the manufacturer for that specific set of jaws, with the exception of, as I say, these interchangeable Nova, Patriot, and Record Power. My understanding is this thing's best turned at a fairly high speed, somewhere between 1700 and 2000, so I've got it up about 1800. You want to get your tool rest up as close as possible. And I'm just going to ease this in and see what happens. I've got this is a negative rake scraper. And it looks like it cuts it cleanly. Let's check it out. Except for some little frills around the edge, which I could clean up later with a pocket knife, looks like. All right, now I'm going to, because I'm making a dovetail on the outer recess, I'm going to switch to a, the problem is I've got to move my tool rest back just a little bit because of that bevel. So it's going to slide over that bevel. The two tools that I like the best, I think, is this 1/2 inch skew for a dovetail, and then this
negative rake box scraper for the for a recess. I frequently make threaded acorn boxes approximately this size. This is about 60 millimeter across, and maybe the shoulder from here to the edge is about 10 millimeters. So it would be nice if I could hold these for cleaning up the bottom and actually thread it, and that's what I'm going to attempt to do. And I've got plenty of room for this recess. Now, what I would also like to do, but it's cutting it pretty close to the screws, is have a smaller one on the inside, about 30 millimeter across, about half as big as that one, that's cut deeper, and it will just barely clear the screws. So I'm going to do the big one first, and then maybe I can come back and make a smaller one and cut it with a 16 thread per inch for small boxes that I make out of exotic wood, 2 inches. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is mark that 60 millimeter recess. So I've taken these calipers, marked them 30 millimeter, and I'm going to carefully scribe a circle with that at about the middle, pointing it slightly down, just easing it in, just enough to see it, and that worked out well. I can see it. Now I'm going to use my square negative rake scraper, and I'm just going to cut down gently. And I think what I want to do is get, let me get some depth calipers, because I want to be checking this regularly to make sure that these are not too deep, so that way I can check it periodically. And this is plenty safe. I've got lots of room. I can actually go down to about 23 millimeter before I hit the tops of the threads. So let's give it a shot. I backed off a little bit here. I can move a little bit closer with this tool because I'm not riding on the bevel. Close to 2,000, and we're just going to ease it in very carefully, doing just a little bit at a time to see how it goes. Just playing with it. Now that I'm getting close to that mark, I want to go ahead and just double check the measurement. Now I want to see if I can ease this over very carefully. We're just going to see how that's looking. I know I've got to go a lot deeper, almost twice as deep, but I just want to take some practice cuts. Okay, I've got this recess cut. I've got just a little bit more to go. I'm using this negative rake scraper to come across here, and I've got this wooden dowel. I've got to retighten it since I was testing it before against the project. So I want those metal glides clamping on the wood dowel to hold this nice firm position with a reasonable gap that'll give me some expansion and contraction room. And let me take one more pass with this negative rake scraper. Now, if I was doing a dovetail, I'd probably want to use this skew by coming in like this and slightly dovetail it. You'll notice you'll get some little shards of plastic coming up on you that'll later need to be trimmed. You can use a pocket knife. I'll clean this up a little bit later with it off the lathe to get all these little bits and plastic out of the screw holes. But it just takes slicing off, because they're only being held by just a small little little band of this nylon. So you get the idea. Later I will probably come in there. I may come in here later with a threading jig and cut 10 inch threads. But meanwhile, I want to see how well this holds it, because this is primarily going to be used on the inside for these type of projects, these large acorns. And I need to go just a little bit deeper for it to register against the shoulder. It registers against the bottom just fine, and I think would probably hold it. And see how true it runs. And it runs very, very true. So I don't want to go too deep, because I think I may want to cut an additional recess in there for smaller boxes in the middle. But I've got to be cautious not to get too close to those screws. So you can always take more off, but you can't add more on. So I think I'll probably try to use it like this and see what kind of experience that I've got. Just a few more reminder tips. You always want to get your tool rest just as close as you possibly can for support. Make sure it clears. You're going to have to back off just a little bit if you use a skew, because of that bevel. When you're doing this operation, make sure you got that wooden dowel tightened down just behind the back of the plastic, and short enough again where it doesn't interfere with the spindle. You can do multiple operations on it. When you finish customizing these, you want to number the jaws to match the jaw slides, 1, 2, 3, 4. In order that when you take them off and you put them on for another project, they will run as true as possible. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you've had any experience using soft jaws, feel free to leave comments in the bottom to share with other members of our community. I've got a couple of links to a couple of other videos you may be interested in. Y'all stay safe. Come on back here.